Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel. If you've been living under a rock for the past few hours, you'll be unaware that Chelsea have parted ways with the manager, Thomas Tuchel. I posted an immediate reaction video within literally 1 minute of the news being broken. I went for a little walk outside and yeah, I'm still very shocked by all of this. But in this video, as I always say on GBFC, as much as I've been negative towards Tuchel, I want to talk in this video about where it went wrong, and there are 3 strong candidates to replace Thomas Tuchel, and I want to take a little look at the profiles of Graham Potter, Mauricio Pochettino, and of course Zinedine Zidane. 3 in a row, Mr. Zidane. Where did it go wrong for Thomas Tuchel? What were the issues? Well, first of all, just so that we can compare things, and I want to give Tuchel a lot of credit here in this video today, because if there is any silver lining to Tuchel being sacked, it's that with 100 games as Chelsea manager, 62% win percentage, as you can see on this graphic. Sarri had 63, Mourinho 64, Conte 66%. He is up there as one of the best performing managers, despite, as we're about to see now on this graphic, some significantly poor results. You've got the 2 conceding 4s at home, Brentford, Arsenal. You've got that poor first leg against Real Madrid as well. Then you've also got the wins. You've got the Champions League final win, which we have to just dedicate a bit of time right this second for. That is the best day of my life. Honestly, football days, always top tier. I haven't had a kid yet. I've got my dog, got my cat, but I haven't had a kid. I'm not married. So winning Champions Leagues is about as good as it bloody gets in the life of Mr. Gio Beno over here. And I think the way that Tuchel galvanised the fan base when Frank Lampard was sacked back in 2020, I think it was, or 21, whenever it was, I can't remember, 2021. When Lampard was sacked, there was a bittersweet feeling about it. Sweet in the sense of, I think us fans knew that there was a ceiling to where Lampard could take Chelsea at that time in his managerial career. And it was bitter because we love Lampard. Frank Lampard was and is Chelsea. So that's why it was bittersweet. Tuchel comes in, galvanises the club during a tumultuous time, during a time where we were going through the washing machine with performances. We looked as though there was no hope for us in the Champions League. Lampard was coming under scrutiny. There were poor results filtering in, and it looked as though the players didn't know what Lampard wanted them to do. Tuchel comes in, and immediately there is this real charisma with a sense of serious class in the way that Thomas Tuchel conducted himself. We win the Champions League. It is a monumental day in all of our lives if you're watching this video, I think, as Chelsea fans. All of a sudden, you compare the first 6 months as Chelsea manager where we win 19 out of 30 matches, and then you compare the last 6 months where we win less than half, concede double the amount of goals that we did in the first 6 months of Tuchel's tenure as Chelsea manager. And over the course of the past 3 weeks, at the beginning of this season, not only was Tuchel backed financially, and I think it's a very odd process to believe that all of these new signings that are coming in were supposed to just go straight in and be winning, playing well together, understanding one another. That isn't going to happen even with a new manager. The new managers kind of come in, and that doesn't change the fact that players haven't played together before. They've just arrived at Chelsea. So you've even got Fofana and Cucurella making Champions League debuts. So it's important to understand that the reason Tuchel is gone is because the energy at Chelsea, with this steep downturn in form and clearly a lack of understanding from the players, and also the system itself, was very boring. And I think for a lot of these players, there is a lot of ability in this Chelsea squad. And I think Tuchel put too many shackles on too many players. And as much as I love the man, and I will forever be grateful for everything he's allowed us to experience as Chelsea fans and the rapport that he has with the fans, the silver lining is that at least it didn't get any worse. So with 100 games in charge and a 62% win record and 3 trophies, 5-6 finals, we can be very happy and look back on this in the future, and this will be a very beautiful management in Chelsea's history. So as a result of this, there are 3 managers that Chelsea are looking at. There's Graham Potter, currently the manager of Brighton and Hove Albion. Preferred formation, 3-4-2-1, 3 at the back. Isn't that what we think is so boring under Thomas Tuchel? Yes, at Brighton there is a very definitive style of play, and the 32% win percentage is of course relative to the opponents that Brighton are facing. Brighton are trying to compete with Chelsea, United, City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham, West Ham, Newcastle, and they're doing an incredible job at it. Brighton, without question, in the past 24 months have been the best of the rest in terms of clear style of play, very aggressive, very difficult to beat. They're good home and away against the big teams. Graham Potter's got them incredibly well organised. And the key thing we need to understand about when Todd Boehly came in, we shouldn't pretend we're surprised that we've got the same kind of treatment as we saw under Roman Abramovich towards managers. Boehly's come in and he said he wanted stability. Now, Tuchel was sacked today after 100 days of Todd Boehly being the Chelsea owner. 100 Tuchel matches, 100 days for Boehly. So Todd Boehly has come in here and he's clearly managed and gauged the energy, gauged the feedback, seen the way that things aren't going so well. And I think maybe, as much as I'm sad that this has happened, and that's what happens when you have an affinity to managers as a fan, you're sad first, then rationale comes in. And my rationale here in favour of what has happened is that the World Cup is in 2 months and a half's time. So Todd Boehly cannot afford this season to let things keep going down. So in order to change things and actually make sure that the curve doesn't keep doing this but starts to like Bitcoin itself back up again, we've got, I can't believe I just said that, we have got to make sure that something is fixed immediately. And what we saw from Boehly in transfer business in the summer, the man doesn't hang around. Yes, some deals took longer than others, but we signed 9 players, I think, including Casadei from Italy. We signed 9 players this summer. Boehly did work. And I think it's important that even though there are other roles at Chelsea that absolutely need to be established, such as we need a sporting director, we need a director of football. It is massively important. We've lost Petr Cech as well, so we also need someone for tactical and performance to be there working alongside whoever it is as the manager. And the important thing now as fans is that we've got no choice. We're Chelsea fans. We've got to support whatever Todd Boehly wants from the club. The Roman Abramovich days are over. We can look back at that and be like, you know what? Hire and fire, it worked, because how many times were we absolutely bladdered because we lifted yet another trophy? And I think Boehly has no intentions of that changing. And he sees the way we've started this season, sees the performances, sees the heads of the players. Even the manager doesn't know what to say. So he's done something about it. Now, what do we actually do about it? The start, Graham Potter, 32%. Do I think Graham Potter is a great manager? Yes. Again, interviews, conducts himself very well, stands toe-to-toe with big Premier League managers. 32% win percentage at Brighton. It might be the lowest of the managers that we're talking about here compared to Zidane and Pochettino, but Zidane had prime Ronaldo. So we're talking about a different calibre of club. So therefore, Zidane's 66% win percentage, significantly better. So the thing with Potter, if he prefers to play with a 3 at the back, are we simply sacking an elite manager to bring in a promising manager, and then maybe he goes and does something similar? Is that going to work? Do these players, or have these players got so bored with what Tuchel's telling them to do, with 3, with wingbacks? Is that the reason? We don't know at this point what the official reason is for Tuchel's sacking. Why the players not understand what he wants them to do? How do we go from winning a Champions League to this? So my concerns with Potter is that you can do a great job at a club lower down in the table, but Chelsea Football Club, for a manager, it is a poison chalice. People don't last at Chelsea under Abramovich, or apparently now under Todd Boehly too. Is Graham Potter ready for the step up to a club of the magnitude of Chelsea Football Club? We are expected to win things. We're expected to a minimum challenge for the Champions League. This season we have to get top 4. Is it too big of a step up for Graham Potter to be able to deliver what Boehly believes Tuchel cannot? And at the same time, I kind of look at Arsenal as a good example here of why hire and fire doesn't work, or is working well for them now. They stuck through with Arteta through thick and thin. thin in the past few years. And now, Arteta might not have even got all the signings he wanted in the summer. Tuchel was backed more than Arteta was. Arsenal are top of the league. Arsenal are playing beautiful football. Arteta has a philosophy that Arsenal believe in. Graham Potter has a strong footballing philosophy. So, maybe, even if Chelsea were to get Graham Potter as a manager, hypothetically, if those goals of top 4 this season are not achieved, I do think Graham Potter is a longevity, sustainable manager. So I rate it. Zinedine Zidane. This is who I want. I want Chelsea to appoint Zinedine Zidane as our next manager. 3 Champions Leagues in a row with Real Madrid. It is an astronomical statistic. 66% win percentage. Preferred formation at Madrid, 4-3-3. I think the playing personnel at this club favours a 4-3-3. Zinedine Zidane was at Madrid for a long time. He's been out of football. It would be easier, in my opinion, to get Zidane, potentially, than it would to get Graham Potter. Are Brighton going to want to give Graham Potter to Chelsea? It's like a player, like, you don't want to sell your best player in January. Do Brighton want to lose the manager who has established what Brighton have become, that made Brighton this good? Do they want to let Graham Potter go in September after only 6 Premier League games? Zidane is out of a job. He's one of the 3, and for me, he's the one I would want. He's got an elite winning mentality. He's a midfielder. What do we have issues with at the club right now? The midfield. So the likes of Mason Mount, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Conor Gallagher, Kovacic, maybe even Jorginho. Under Zidane, Kante is the player that I missed out, and I've just had to correct myself. I'd love Zidane at Chelsea Football Club. Mauricio Pochettino is also out of a job. 48% win percentage, same age as Zinedine Zidane, and loves the 4-3-3. Used to be Tottenham's manager. Immediately, that's why I'm just like, I don't know, man. This guy didn't win anything with Spurs. What makes you think he's going to win something with Chelsea? Pochettino's a good manager. Goes to PSG. You always know what you're going to get at PSG. You're going to win the league, mate. Not going to win the Champions League there, though, are they? Because they're cursed with that one too. Of all of these managers, I'm going to rank them. Zidane is my number 1. I want Zinedine Zidane. Graham Potter is number 2. Pochettino, number 3. Overall, Chelsea have rolled the dice here, and it is up to us now to vindicate it. Boehly needs to vindicate this by appointing the right man. And then we need to immediately see a turn in fortunes with entertainment and performance on the pitch. Results, number 1. Diego Simeone. Just want to throw that one out there for you guys as well. I've always loved Diego Simeone, but I think at this point we want something a bit different, don't we? We don't want a defensive style. Doesn't suit us. Doesn't maximise the quality that we have with the calibre of attacking players at the club. Tuchel is gone. Who is going to be the replacement? Please let me know in the comments down below. Who do you want? Who do you think it's going to be? And if you haven't seen my immediate reaction video to Thomas Tuchel's sacking, check it out. Also check out the 6 things we learned from Zagreb too. Loads of content for you lot, but it's the biggest day in our history, some could say. Come on, you Blues.